My biggest hope for 2021 is that we get people vaccinated, we get our kids back in school, we do everything we can to make up for the learning loss.
The theme of this year's Crab Feed is dream big and act fast. And I think we've got to do that as Democrats here in California.
We thought that we'd have a new year and things would go back to normal or better, but we know normal wasn't so good.
My biggest goal for this year is to get through this pandemic and make sure that people do better when they get on the other side of it.
When we put the pandemic behind us, and we have a lot of work to do, that we need to make sure that we continue working for a more just world.
Whether it's fighting for Medicare for all, whether it's taking on a climate change that we see both here in California and in other parts of the country.
We want to help communities fight the damage from wildfires and climate change.
And we really focus on how we can help small businesses and so many who lost so much during the economic downturn.
By owning the recovery from this terrible pandemic and lifting folks out of such terrible hardship and suffering and getting this economy turned around and really delivering results, we can break the curse of that midterm cycle for the party that, holds all three branches.
Although the June 2022 primary is more than a year away, I really think we can and should take this time to make sure that we lay the groundwork for extending our Democratic supermajorities here in the legislature in Sacramento, as well as making sure that we hold on and even increase our majority in Washington, D.C.
We've got some important fights in 2021.
We will be tested, and we have a pending gubernatorial recall that may be before us sooner than we'd like.
I really think as Democrats, we owe it to Governor Gavin Newsom to stop the Republican recall. This is just an attempt to use COVID to try to get rid of a governor that I believe has our democratic values, and it really is governing for California for all.
The governor has been dealt the worst set of cards you could possibly have been dealt, and we need him to be successful.
Republicans can only win when they game the system. Using low turnout recalls is another form of, I think, voter suppression.
We need to educate our Democrats even on what the recall really means. I think they just think it's just a recall, but let's remember how Mr. Schwarzenegger got elected.
Our leader, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is famous for saying, "Don't agonize, organize." And I think there's a good message in there for all of us. And Sonoma County Democrats do a great job of that already.
I believe that we will be united and we will do that. But we've got to act quickly in order to make that happen.
From a policy perspective, I'm really looking forward to working on criminal justice reform, housing and homelessness issues, as well as an issue that I know is really important to folks in Sonoma County, which is broadband access for all.
Particularly important in our rural communities and many of our inner city areas, shockingly.
I want to share with you two bills that I really want to pass this year. First is a tax on guns and ammunition, and the second is repeal of the death penalty in California. These are very hard battles. We've got our work cut out for us, but we can get this done this year.
And all of those are the things that we can do, that I can do in the legislature to give people a reason to vote.
We've got to be prepared to win in 2022.
We need to ensure that we get everybody registered to vote, keyed up on these issues, and get ready to defend the seats that we have, win more seats, make sure that we can get closer to that 60 vote number in the Senate.
We have to do everything we can to protect the Biden administration. The 2022 midterms should be the most important midterms for generations to come. If we can focus on that, retaining the strength, growing the strength, the future is extremely bright.
I want to make sure that the California Democratic Party is the strongest party in the country, not just because we're the biggest, but because we're the best, and because we're the ones that really value the lived experiences of all Californians.
We know that we have to beat back any attack on our values and any attack on the progress that we've made, where California can be a place where everyone can succeed and thrive.
And that together we can do it. Together we in California can do anything.